Live from the Spill Studios, located behind a liquor store off the I-35 interchange, it's time once again for a couple of cold ones with Corey, Carlisle, and Pod Bay Door.
And Pod Bay Door, everybody knows her name now.
I'm not
Noah.
leaving.
What the fuck are you still doing here?
He's keeping me here. He's locking me.
I'm sure that's what it is. You were supposed to be gone weeks ago, and you're like, oh, I'm leaving on this day, and I'm leaving on that day, and then you email me today, and you're like, are you doing a couple of cold ones?
Yes.
I got a chain here.
The what we call the Kent Memorial Couch.
I'm not touching that couch. That couch is disgusting.
Oh, you don't want to know what's happened on that couch.
I got you chained here with charm.
It was beautiful consensual love between two grown men. There is nothing to be worried about.
Oh, yeah. It's coated in that love.
The stains.
It's glazed in that love.
Hey, Kent had to pay his way somehow.
So everybody does. That includes you. You know how you glaze a donut?
Yes.
That couch is glazed with love.
Wow. We've gone into a special place tonight.
Y'all went in a special place. I'm just following.
Sure.
So,
get a Norwegian girl in here, and you got to start talking sex.
So you know what?
Dutch.
Dutch.
I was about to say. I was going to let her handle that.
You're just talking about the. All right. Netherlands, Norway.
She almost choked the hell out of me for calling her Dutch.
IKEA, so it's like...
Yeah, no, this is an unusual thing here, having a guest on this show. We hardly have guests on this one.
I know.
It's because normally we record at like 2 a.m.
Exactly, yeah. So a lot of
people are like, why is it up so late or early in the morning? Because we just recorded it.
We had a guest for a couple of weeks, which was the woman next door. Shut the fuck up! So, that was our special guest for a little while, but glad to have you here, Noah. How you doing?
Thank you for having me.
No, have him get the fuck out. I mean, shit. When are you going?
I don't know.
Hey, I'm messing with you. How you doing? You doing all right? Nice outfit you have on there.
Thank you.
She got nice shoes on for this podcast. You look like you got dressed up.
Really? I got my hair in a ponytail. Come on.
She brought beer. That's what matters.
Good enough, yeah.
What kind of beer is this?
It's Hoegaarden.
Hoegaarden.
Hey, that's a bad word over here. That's what we call a euphemism.
I know.
How would you call it?
Now, see, I would look at this and I spell it. It's Hoegaarden. It's where you grow hose.
Now say that.
H-O-E-G.
Hoegaarden.
That's what we call vagina over here. I want to get all up in there. Hoegaarden.
Hoegaarden. It's Hoegaarden.
I think Al Pacino make this beer. It's good fucking beer.
Good with the lemon.
You want to drink it with a lemon? Drink it raw. I don't give a fuck how you drink it.
And that was your impression of his Richard III. Oddly enough.
That was a good. Looking for Richard was a good film.
Yes, it was. And yet I can't tell the difference between his Richard and his blind man.
That's true.
Every character Al Pacino does the same. But hey, welcome.
Thank you.
Again. And I don't know what we're going to talk about. I have nothing lined up. I have not looked at email. I have not looked up stories. I will probably do this while we record. So you getting the real raw experience here.
This is what it's really like. We have no people like, wow, it's such a concise thing. You guys do it the same, and you've got all your things. And
we're just lucky.
No, it was funny because you folks weren't here for this, sadly. Because Corey's apartment is big enough. But Noah at the beginning was like, oh no, I don't want to sit in because it's just you two, and that's how it's supposed to be. Is it's always you two, and it's like, you don't understand, lady. We're two guys who could give a shit.
I like that, lady.
Lady.
Yeah, you don't understand, lady.
Fräulein. Oh, with the head and the doing the podcast and all the beer. It's
like somebody from New York. Hey, lady, you don't get it.
Yeah, I want to mix some magic.
We're two guys who don't give a shit. I mean, we sit in front of microphones and we kill an hour, and people, download it. We
don't kill each other first.
If we don't kill each other first. Sometimes, occasionally, we have to turn it off and kill each other, and then we come back.
And then we come back. It's all good. That's the magic of editing.
That's the magic of beer.
and immortality. Yeah. But I have here... Now, you've heard this show before.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I'm going to test you. Now, when we start out the show, what did we start out with?
Top 5.
Oh, shit, she knows. Oh, my God.
Does that mean that it's the top 5? Brought to you by Spill.
And beer.
And lots of beer.
Hoegaarden.
You might get a prize for that. You might, you know what? You might actually get to crawl up in my bed before it's over.
Thank you so much. So generous.
I might allow you in here.
I've got to endure this for like 55 more minutes.
I've been keeping her out. She's been knocking on that door. Car, get on somewhere.
A bear ate all my clothes. Can I come in? I'm afraid.
No, I'm keeping your clothes. I'm wearing them right now.
That wasn't a bear. That was Cyrus.
I love it that Cyrus, because we don't even mean anything by it, but Cyrus and Leon have become such the whipping children of this
Well, that's
website.
because they run their own gay little podcast that doesn't cover anime, mind you.
Yeah,
They need to cover anime, I'm telling
apparently
you.
so. I mean, they
Or as the kids are calling it, anima.
Anima.
Are they really calling it that? Anima?
They are. They are. I've run into too many kids that call it anima.
You know, it used to be just Japanese animation.
Well,
period.
and we shortened it to anime because we were tired of saying Japanese animation all the time.
Well, actually,
That's the thing. When I was 12, we were watching that shit, and I didn't think it was special for me to watch that. And now it's like, oh no, I'm totally into anime. Yeah, you know.
that's been around for years, and there was even a point. There was a point between anime and Japanese animation. I'm not joking here. They called it Japanime.
Yeah.
No, seriously, you're laughing, but they did that, and because it was known that way for a while, and I guess
It just became anime.
It became anime, yeah. Yeah. In other words, you got nerds who just want to just keep it changing so they can feel like they own it, you know? Because in the 80s, there was a point where it was becoming mainstream with Akira, and then they had to like get obscure with it.
Akira!
Yeah, man, I remember going to, because I used to be really nerdy that way too. Okay, I still am in a way, but I used to go to anime conventions. I used to because I was such an animation guy, you know, and I wanted to find adult, you know, just adult themed animation wherever I could. And it was at the animation club, the Japanese animation club.
Hi, my name's Corey Coleman. When I grow up, I wanna drop pictures and make animated films. It'll be awesome.
Let me tell you something. At 16, kids like try to drive miles away from their parents so they can go drink. I'm from Waco. I used to drive an hour and a half, 2 hours away.
And that was just to get to the grocery store.
And that's to get to grocery. That's just to get a beer. But no, it was. I used to drive like 2 hours away to watch anime. I used to go to Fort Worth to go to the anime club there. And then when I got to college, I remember there was a guy, and this is the first time I knew, like, maybe I don't need to be in this because they get on my nerves. A guy got up and pronounced Akira that way. He's like, and next week we'll be showing a pristine, nice copy, which was VHS at the time, of Akira. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? Gesundheit! You know, I didn't know what he said. Yeah, and I was like,
Akira!
Oh, he's trying to say Akira. Okay, whatever. But anyway, the top 5 here.
Number 5.
You know, Leon bashing has become a sport now.
Has Leon bashing become a sport?
Yeah, that's what we're doing now. It's like who can see who can rack up the most points by making fun of Leon. But top 5 here. Number 5, still hanging in there, is The Hangover.
The Hangover.
Man,
Still hanging in there. It came back. It was not number 5. Are you even in the right week?
Yes, number 5, man.
Awesome. It's back.
Yeah, I guess last week it probably was. It was number 6 or something, but it was this week it came back. Yeah, and it man, this movie has made $236 million.
Costs like what, 30-40 million to make?
It cost $40 million to make, and it's made 236 million. Brought in 8.3 million this weekend. So man, that movie's doing a bang up job, man.
That is a funny movie.
And I love that movie. Now I'm going to number 4.
Number 4.
Making a big drop is, you know what it is? Cabruno.
Bruno.
That's my Bruno explosion sound. I like that. Did I say a Dutch word? Cabruno. No. Okay, I'm sorry. Man. So yeah,
He's
Bruno.
Austrian.
There's been a lot of backlash on this movie, man.
He should have prayed to Saint Adolf.
It's made $49.6 million, so it's done well for the kind of movie it is. But man, let's see. What backlash have you heard? Because I came out. A lot of people jumped on me for what I said, and I was being too sensitive.
Yeah, no. Well, it's not the sensitivity stuff. It's a lot of people have been kind of annoyed with how heavy-handed it was. And how staged a lot of the bits seemed.
Yeah.
Because a lot of it felt very staged. And the big thing that I'm seeing now is I'm seeing interviewers. I was reading an interview today, which the interviewer was just annoyed with Sacha Baron Cohen. In fact, the whole bent of the interview was, how does Isla Fisher put up with this?
Yeah. Cyrus said that. He's like, I don't know how she does it with him.
Because apparently what he said in the interview is the fact that he stays in character 14 hours a day.
Yes.
And he was getting on the nerves of the interviewers who are interviewing him as Bruno. And they're like, this is old and we're kind of glad you have no more characters left.
You know what? I heard some interviews after the movie came out. Now, I'm annoyed with the whole I'm playing a character and going out and doing interviews because it's like, we know who you are. I remember, and I really got annoyed with it a long time ago when Arsenio Hall was trying to create this character called Chunky A.
Oh, yeah. I remember Chunky A.
Yeah, Chunky A. And he went out trying to do interviews as Chunky A. And it was just like, Give me a fucking break, man. All right, Arsenio Hall.
We know it's a parody of Heavy D, dude. Come on,
Yeah.
chill the fuck out.
So at this point, I'm thinking, all right, we know who you are. I can tolerate it when you're promoting the movie. It's even kind of funny in some parts, but this is after the movie. He's like on The Insider or something like that as Bruno. He's on Howard Stern as Bruno, and it's like, give it up, man. The movie's fucking out already. All right.
And really what we want to see and what we need to see, and this is what he doesn't get, is once the movie's out, we need to see him as Sacha Baron Cohen so we can appreciate just how brilliant a job he's of imitation or impression he's doing. Because when you actually hear him talk, he's this really highly intelligent, deep thinker who gets the notion of comedy and can explain it to you as if he's taking apart a clock and putting it back together.
No,
he can
you're right.
explain how a joke works, why it works, and he's brilliant. And when you see that and are able to juxtapose that versus the movie you've just seen, it's like, holy shit, this guy is a fucking genius.
Yeah.
But when you watch Bruno and then you see Bruno on TV, you just start getting sick of him.
You get tired of it, and I wonder why he's doing that, because he's smart enough to not do that. I saw him on David Letterman. He came on and told the whole story about how they got the terrorist in the movie, and he had the audience. The audience was they were wrapped up in the story. So I mean, he manipulated that audience. They wanted to hear every word. They were hanging on to it, and every beat that he hit with that story, you could tell he probably rehearsed it. He had his jokes down and everything, but it was fine. It was a great story, and it was delivered well. And I was watching that, and the whole time I was thinking, thank God he wasn't in costume, because he's a great guy. And you're right. If you put Bruno and Borat together, you would not probably tell that those were the same guy. He's such a great actor. I admire the guy, Sacha Baron Cohen. I think he's a great actor.
Yeah, no, he's a fantastic actor and he's a brilliant comedian.
I think he's above gimmicks.
I'm really curious. My big question is what's going to happen now? He's used up all three of his characters. He doesn't have any other characters.
Let me ask you
does he?
something. Did you see Sweeney Todd?
Yeah.
So did you like him in Sweeney Todd?
I thought he was really solid.
Yeah.
I think Sweeney Todd. I really like Sweeney Todd. I think it has a couple issues, but I thought he was great in it as the barber. Oh my God, he was great. Yeah. No, and I even thought he was kind of amusing in Talladega Nights.
Oh,
which even though I didn't like, I thought he was fun in it.
No, he was.
But between those five characters I've seen him as, he really has a lot of range. And I'm curious. I think the next thing, and I'm really curious to see why I'm so curious, is he's going to create a whole new character that nobody's seen before, and there's no way anyone's going to know that it's him.
That, what, I didn't think about that, but that would be funny if he does that and nobody knows. But you know something? I wonder if interviewers and the general public is just kind of on guard now about these kind of deals. I mean, when somebody comes out and the interview is so outrageous, we're going to be thinking, okay, this guy's playing a character. Or he's working for somebody like Howard Stern who sent them out to just be purposely insulting.
But they might not necessarily know that it's Sacha Baron Cohen.
That's true. No, we'll see what happens. I mean, I think he should just act for a little while.
I mean, I agree. I absolutely agree. I think, and I think this film kind of proves that the prank movie is over with. That really this is our last bit of tolerance. The next prank movie is going to get on our nerves, and we're going to be, come on, can we please? Because you're already hearing that grumbling, and the next one is only going to get it even worse.
Yeah, cut that shit out is what you need to do. So let's go up to number 3.
Number 3.
Don't need to say a lot about this one. Transformers: Revenge of the Fallen. Did you see that, Noah?
Yeah, I did.
Did you like it?
No.
Okay, I was about to tell you.
I did.
But you got to get out.
Stupid characters, all of them. I mean, great special effects. I like that. But
those testicles looked realistic.
No, yeah.
I believe those were robot testicles.
Those were my favorite. But no,
you like
all
the big
the
metal
characters
balls?
were dumb. All the characters were dumb. I did not the whole mud flap thing. I did not see them. I already said that on Leog. I did not see that as
it's a racial
racist,
stereotype.
But I thought every character was a stereotype. I thought
they were. They were.
I did not see one, and I kind of went like, maybe I should have seen the first one, and then I would have understand this. But
well, maybe you should have seen the first one, because even though I wasn't crazy about the first one, it is better than this one.
And it does kind of explain everything.
Okay.
All right. So that movie has made a lot of money, though. $364 million. The top grossing movie of the summer. A lot of people predicted it would be. No surprise there. Brought in $13.8 million this weekend. So
you know what we gotta do? We gotta move on to number 2.
Oh man, look at you! You upping it up now. You're up in the game.
Bring it up a notch.
I know. You actually put some melody in there. That's the first time.
Just a little.
Just a little bit. Yeah, I almost took my panties off for that one.
just a
All right,
little bit.
all right. Cut the singing out, goddamn. Let's see.
What's number 2, motherfucker? It ain't The Proposal.
No, it is not. It is Ice Age: Dawn of the Dinosaurs. Came back up $152 million. I'm surprised. I thought the movie cost more, but it was actually a $90 million movie, so it's up for making a profit.
Well, they already had all the characters.
Yeah, already modeled and
they're already
everything,
modeled.
yeah.
They just have to plug in shit.
Yeah,
because they certainly didn't up their game animation wise.
I have to admit, look, I was the one that said this should have gone straight to DVD, but if I'm in the position of somebody who has to make money for the studio, I would have done the same.
Well, there's a difference between discussing the quality and business decisions.
Yeah.
I mean, Transformers 2 should have gone fucking to video, but goddamn,
Yeah.
it's, it made
Transformers
its
2
fucking
should have been some toilet paper so I can wipe my ass with it. But no, I was saying this movie should have gone straight to DVD, but they have all the assets there. All they got to do is like pretty much just make up a lame story and push it out, and you have, $152 million. So, number 1.
In a world where only one movie can be the first movie of the week, we have...
Coming back up is Public Enemies.
Really?
Yes.
This is the first time it's taken number 1.
Oh shit, man! I'm sorry. My eyes in the wrong place. Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince.
There you go.
He knew I was joking.
Really? Harry Potter's number 1? I'm so surprised. Oh my God.
Because
How did
I
that
had
happen?
predicted that it would not even be in the top 5 this summer.
Tell me about it. This, who's ever heard of this Harry Potter guy? I mean, he's just
Who
another.
is this Harry Pothead?
He's just another fucking character, this Daniel Radcliffe guy who just goes around and pretends to be a wizard. Ooh.
And you know something? I'm really disappointed with this movie because they already had the characters made. The models were already there, so all I got to do is just plug them in, and there you go, another Harry Potter movie.
Oh, look, it's floating candles again for the 6th time. I'm so impressed.
The movie made $79 million this weekend, and it's made in the last 5 days pretty much $160 million, man. A lot of money. Second behind, like it made broke some records. It had the second biggest opening this year behind Transformers.
Yep.
So no surprise there. Look, I'm glad a lot of people are really loving this movie because a lot of people have been jumping on us.
Well, the thing is the critic and the audience reaction is split on this. There are those who think, and I can't understand them, but those that think this is the second best film after Azkaban. I keep reading so many, especially comments from friends and critics who I respect, who are like, "Dude, this is the best since Azkaban."
Yeah,
and then the other half are walking out going, "Really? That was it?" I went and saw it a second time.
You did?
Yeah, we have a friend named Brian Brushwood who's a professional magician, and I hooked up Brian with a gig at the Alamo Draft House up at the Village. They have a magician who they like having a magician before the Potter shows. They're doing all 4 Potter shows, so all 4 screens were Potter at midnight. So what they did is they hired Brian to come and do a gig in front of each of them. So he did a 20-minute set, and they weren't paying him a lot, but he was doing it because he was doing it for the Draft House.
Of course.
So it's like, dude, I get to perform at the Draft House. That's awesome. He'd never done it before. So, and he knew it would be a chance for some of his friends to come out and see him perform. So he called me up and he's like, "Look, they're not paying me a lot, so I can't pay an apprentice. Will you be, my magician's assistant and help me go from theater to theater?" And
did he pull you out of a hat?
No. No, I was the guy that was there to help move everything between acts. And like when he would, he did his blockhead routine. So he'd hold the piece of wood up that had all the nails in it, and the audience member would pull out a nail and he'd hand that off so it was no longer on stage and hand it to me. Then I'd set it over to the side and I'd have props ready for him when things were ready to go, and he would do a 20-minute set and we'd move on to the next. We had an hour and a half to do 4 20-minute sets.
Oh, four
20-minute sets.
Oh, 4 20-minute sets
in an hour and a half.
Oh shit!
So
he's a professional. He's done.
Yeah, and we did it, and it was great, and it was a lot of fun, and the audiences were incredible. I got to see a show 4 times in a row, and it was a lot of fun. But so then afterwards, they comped us seats and food at for Harry Potter, and I was like, dude, I'll watch this again. And so me and Brian sat down and watched it, and the same problems are there. It was interesting to watch a second time because I'm getting the experience that people that have read the book were getting the first time they watched it, which I know who the Half-Blood Prince is. I know where the story's going. I know what's going on with Malfoy. No, it's not better. It still has all the same flaws. But I understood what all the Malfoy brooding was about, which that does, all of a sudden, that makes Malfoy much more powerful. Yeah. Because the first time you watch it and you don't know what Malfoy's up to, you're kind of like, why is this somber motherfucker walking around? Oh, I guess because no one is snogging him. That's why. And then finally it's revealed. It's like, oh, that makes sense.
Well, I got that near the end of the movie when I saw it, and I was like, wow, okay, that's why he's going out crying like a bitch.
But by the same token, it's still, it fleshes it out a little, but it didn't make the film better.
I'm happy that the movie's doing well. I'm happy that people like it. I mean,
it means the next two are going to do well, and I hear the material that's based on is killer.
Well, they said that they didn't want to have the big battle at the end because they didn't want to repeat themselves. I still think that's an excuse. They could have done it in this movie just as well. The movie needed it, all right, but
it did.
Like I said, if people think it's solid and is something that's going to bridge well between the last movie and the next movie, I love this series so much that I'll stand behind it and I'll support it because honestly, as far as direction goes, I mean, the only thing I had a problem with was the script. Everything else, I thought for a summer movie, this is probably one of the best directed things I've seen. The cinematography is great. And
it is.
Yeah, that chick, not the chick, but the cinematographer from Amelie is the one that did the cinematography for this. And I'm thinking, this is amazing.
It was beautiful cinematography, but my real problem, the problem that keeps just weighing on me both times that I watched it is the fact that all the background magic's gone. I mean, the only thing we see in the film is the candles floating in the in the main hall room, in the dining room, and aside from that, the only magic that comes up is stuff that is inherent to the plot. Like, we need magic to do this, or we need magic to do that. We don't see the passwords on the doors. We never see the moving staircases. We never see any of the moving pictures. There are no ghosts wandering around Hogwarts anymore. Quite literally, I mean, there's no elves. There's no nothing. There is nothing in this film magical except plot devices.
I thought that at first, because if you listen to the review, I complained about that, and then to hear Leon talk about it, I kind of understood why they probably pulled back. They wanted to make the sense of foreboding seem a little more real, so they pulled the magic out of it. So if you notice at the beginning of the movie, it's very magical, and there's a lot of comedy, and then as they move on, the movie becomes a little more somber. So I'm thinking, all right, I could see that.
You can do that without pulling the magic of Hogwarts, though. I mean, Hogwarts just felt like a drafty castle.
And I think that's what they wanted. They wanted to have this embedded, to kind of make it lonely and quiet before this big thing was about to happen.
But the thing is that they juxtapose that brooding with all this romance, and that doesn't fit because there's so many magical sequences going on that when they're these young kids falling in love. That's when we should feel like Hogwarts is alive, like Hogwarts is just brimming with magic everywhere you go. It's magical. And
I don't think they would fall in love. I think they were just horny and wanted to fuck a lot. I mean, they just wanted to hook up. I didn't see any love in there anywhere. The hormones were just going wild.
Now that's just you being jokey.
I
come on. The scene where Hermione is sitting there with Ron, and Ron has fallen ill. He's in the bed, and she's sitting there holding his hand, and he starts mumbling her name instead of his little kissy girlfriend's name. That was that was a romantic scene that just wasn't punctuated by anything.
No, I am exaggerating a little bit, but really I saw it as they're teenagers and they don't know love yet. They're beginning to have a thing for each other.
And I didn't see it as. I agree with that.
And they probably will,
extent,
but some characters they do fall in love.
But I think that's a weak explanation as to why they pulled all the magic out. It really feels like.
I think it really is a personal preference, though. Like, some people miss it, and some people say that it really served for them not to see that. Like
for
Leon,
a film that is so hollow and plotless, I wanted to feel the magic at least. And the background is hollow, the plot is hollow,
but see, that's
the climax is weak.
That's where the difference is between someone like you and I and people who love this film come into it. They see it as something else when that magic is gone, or these other complaints that we have. They justify it in some kind of way.
But pretty much every single one of those are people who have read the book. I have not talked to anybody who hasn't read the book who watched the movie who loved it. They may be out there, but I haven't talked to them. Everyone I talk to that's like, oh man, it was so great. It's the best since Azkaban. It's like, oh, have you read the? Oh yes, I love. And you get a lot of people who are like Leon who say, yeah, I didn't really like the book all that much, and this movie nailed what I liked about the what's good about the book.
Which is funny to me because I heard there's so much in that book that was taken out. But I mean, there's a couple of comments from people, and granted, I personally feel like they have Harryitis. You know, they're gonna love it no matter what. Damn, Harryitis sounds like a real disease, don't it? I mean, I think
I had Harryitis and all that. It's, you know, finally
for my man.
It's growing back, and my nuts don't look like a 12-year-old's anymore. But
I have a couple of Harryitises for you. No, it says, man, no,
really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, there you go.
You can please 2 girls at once. Whoa, 1 girl, twice as much.
Get up in that hoo-ha.
In that hoe garden.
Oh, did we cut off? Oh, okay, yeah, yeah. Get a case of the hairy hoo-ha now. That's what you got, right? But look at, she's like, yeah, I got it.
Yeah, I got a hairy hoo-ha.
Sure.
She's Dutch. Of course, she has a hairy hoo-ha.
No.
Got to bring you into this. Okay. I'm on the level that you are with this movie. For me, I liked it, but I'm really there with you. It lacked for me. It really did. I was bored in some parts, and I'm sorry. I know
well, you know, it never bored me the second time around. I still contend that everything that's in it is good, but it's one of those things where all the parts are good, just the movie isn't the sum of its parts. When you look at it as a whole, it really is lacking because it's missing a few essentials.
I think so too. And there was, like I said, there were a couple of people, comments I read, they love the movie, and I think that they were poised to love it because they love Harry Potter. Because there's some people out there who love Harry Potter without having read the books. They love these movies.
They're good movies.
And they are good movies. And
they're not all great, but as far as the world goes, I mean, I'll end up watching Goblet of Fire once more when I watch all 7 back-to-back, or all 8 back-to-back when I
plan on
get
doing
a chance
that
to do
too.
that.
I want to watch.
I would never go back and watch Goblet of Fire or this one for pleasure ever.
Well, you know what? I can't wait for the time when I test my endurance by having a Harry Potter-thon. You know, sit up there and watch all 9 movies.
You know, they have those in Amsterdam.
Really?
The Potathons? Yeah, they have those quite a bit.
Oh, those. I'm sorry, I didn't remember that.
Hashorama.
Yes.
No, there's I want to sit down.
The
hoo-a-thon. But I want to sit down because it really is going to be interesting to watch these kids literally grow in front of our eyes.
It already has. It was so weird to see the trailer for the first one right before watching this, and it's just like, oh my god, Daniel Radcliffe is aged.
Yeah.
I mean, and he really, I mean, he's grown.
You know, one of the kids got busted for pot.
It's bound to happen. Which one?
The chubby one who is a bully at the
who
school.
wasn't in this movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't.
Oh, no.
because he got busted for growing pot. They found some plants.
He's in jail right now.
No, I mean they've had issues growing up. I mean the big thing was they were running into a problem with Malfoy, the actor who plays him, because he sprouted up over the summer one year and just boom. I mean, it was like, wow, he looks much older than everyone else. How the hell are we going to do this? We need to replace him. And everybody freaked out when they hinted at replacing him.
Oh, man.
And so
nobody noticed. And nobody noticed. Everybody knows
even those that noticed didn't fucking care.
Yeah.
Because the point is, it's the same actor all the way through.
I'm waiting for Hermione's new pictures to come out. That's all I'm asking for. Now,
Can we wait until she's 18?
She's not 18?
I think she is.
She's 18.
She may have just
Google
turned
it.
18.
Well, then she's legal. You know?
You know what? One thing I don't like to do is Google the ages of young actresses who I've watched when they were 11.
Yeah, no, I would never go online and Google anything like that.
I haven't watched Harry Potter. I only saw one Harry Potter.
I don't have Hermione wand dreams.
But I do remember when he was a little kid, I saw a few previews, right? And
Yeah.
then I go see Equus.
Oh, you
in
watched,
London.
You saw Equus?
Yes.
Oh, the one
How
where he
was
had a
he?
nude
Oh,
scene?
he was good. Oh, yeah. He stands naked and doing a monologue. And at one point, I'm going like, he's not bad looking. He has a nice penis. He has nothing to be ashamed of. And then I'm
look
going
at
like,
you.
I am dirty. I'm
Yeah,
so
and
dirty.
you know something,
'Cause I
I've
knew
seen
it when he
Harry
was...
Potter.
Yes,
I've seen Harry
And
Potter.
then I'm going like, well, he's 18, so I can look.
Harry Peter and the Nuts of Stone. No, look.
I was going Harry Peener.
See, now that's the thing about Harry Potter.
Harry
like
Potter and the Sorcerer's Bone. That's what the movie's
that's
called.
What I'm not thinking about his Harry Potter at all, man. That's some gay.
You're not thinking about the Sorcerer's Bone
That's like
either?
an illegal gay film right there, and I would not think of that. But you women have gotten dirty with this Harry Potter thing because before that guy, and what's his name, Daniel Radcliffe?
Yeah.
Before he was even remotely legal, there were women out there just saying, "Oh, he's gonna be cute." And it was
We're
like,
writing slashy.
You fucking pedophiles! You want to talk about man?
Don't even talk to. I've seen you drool over 14-year-old girls.
No,
How
you
many-
have,
Dakota
don't
Fanning.
even
We can
put that
find a
out there. Don't
podcast.
even
We can
say
find-
that. That is not true.
How-
We can
how does
find
Dakota
podcasts
Fanning look
about you
these days?
talking about
Hot.
Dakota Fanning. Yeah.
Oh, darn, you got me. It's a trap.
If it weren't for you meddling kids and that dog, I would have gotten away with my pedophilia.
Damn it, Dakota, if it weren't for you and your fineness and that ass, I wouldn't be in jail.
And those
no.
budding little nips.
No, you know something? No, I would say, I'll do it jokingly when we're doing these things, but I've never sat back and thought about like the Olsen twins. Oh, when they're gonna be legal, or look at a 14-year-old and say,
No,
oh,
see,
she's gonna
Eli,
be
that was
hot.
Eli Roth who did that.
See, I would not do that. And
Eli
that
loves him, the Olsen twins.
he can go to jail with them too. But I have.
I want
never
to see.
been-
He's always Eli Roth is always secret, not really too secretly, but he's lamented the fact that he's always dreamed of making a film with starring the Olsen twins and a monkey, and it's just never happened. Instead, he made Hostel and Hostel 2.
He should have made those and twins with a monkey instead of making Hostel 2. That probably would have been a better movie.
Fuck
But
you! I love that movie.
you can have it.
I do.
Please take it. But no, it's funny, man. I've done apprentice shit for Brian too. He can't wait to pull fire out his nose and out his ass and everything.
He did fire.
Yeah, no,
He did. What he did is he did his fire eating. He did the human blockhead. He did the Indian skewer through the tongue trick. And
he's a good guy, man. He actually a long time ago he did a benefit for me. He said, "I'll come and do magic for you for free," and I was like, "Gee, okay." And he actually did the whole thing with fire and all that kind of stuff. I was like,
he performed at my birthday party once.
Yeah, I remember. I was there in the backyard. What's that?
Should invite him to the spill party.
You know what? I should do that.
You should. I don't know if he'll perform, but
During
he
the
can have him
barbecue?
come.
Goddamn, if he won't perform, he will. If he shows up,
You might have to pay at this point, brother.
You know what? Come on, Brian. I'm a friend. I was the first friend that Brian is the first guy I knew before. And these motherfuckers here in Austin, if he owes anybody a favor, it's probably a relative or something. But I'm next. And he owes me for this.
Hold a collection afterwards.
No, you know what? I'd pay him for that. I'll get him a chicken.
I have an
or
idea.
something.
We'll discuss it. We'll discuss it after the show.
Okay.
If you blow him, he might actually.
No, it's not. No, that I discussed during the show. You can tell it's serious because I'm waiting for the mic to be turned off. That's
No, I'll do it later. By the way, are you up for doing a live? Let's do this with in front of an audience at the spill party.
well. It depends on when it is. I'm not going to be there for all the spill parties.
Well, it'll be on Saturday around noon.
I don't know if I'll be there.
Okay. Well, I mean, if not, it doesn't matter. I mean, I'm just trying to give everybody opportunity. It's like it'll probably
Do a live, a couple of cold ones. We might be able to do that weekend.
Well, if you can, I only say let's do this because that's the one where everybody can like chant to, and we have the most catchphrases and shit. I think it's a good audience.
What you want to do? Everybody together doing?
Yeah.
Let's do.
Yeah.
Okay, I see.
Yeah. During thinking about doing it at noon at the Alamo Draft House, South.
Well, we'll
so
see.
if you can be there, you're fine. If not, then we'll do something else at some point.
Well, okay.
So we'll work out something. We have the whole weekend. It's gonna be all right. So you know what you missed. You came at the wrong time.
I'm going to London that weekend.
So
We're not at the spill
much-
party in
yeah.
Austin to get together. So
you're gonna have the spill party in London get together.
yeah, we're not in Austin spill party.
We're not an Austin spill party in London. You know what? We should probably hook up a web link.
Yes,
Some kind of way so that we can
live,
see, some live feed going on.
People who have nothing better to do in Austin talking to people who have nothing better to do in London.
There you
drinking
go.
beer. That's
Nah, it's gonna be pretty big this year. So I don't know if
I
we can
know.
have that.
I'm happy I'm not here.
Well,
No,
that's
too many people is too much for me.
Really?
I would love to meet everybody who's on the side because I think everybody's great, but all at once, that's
you haven't met Kent.
You have some sort of agoraphobia then, don't you? Or
yeah,
something
kind
like
of.
that.
Yeah,
Wow,
too many
okay.
people make me hyperventilate.
You should be here then. I'd love to
Well,
see that.
there are a few women I don't know that don't hyperventilate when they have too many people
There's
at
too many
once.
people here. I just have to take off my clothes. I can't breathe.
6 of you guys is too many. I only have 2 hands and 3 orifices.
Yeah, see. He used to talk about the Olsen twins
I
like
need
this
to-
before they were legal.
No.
That's the same kind of talk we used to have when they were
Well,
like
that's
13.
because
And I'm
together
cornered.
they could entertain 10 at once.
There you go, exactly.
It would be 12, but you can't get tits out of it.
Octogina. Let's see.
Octogina, Jesus. I think I've seen that movie. Except it's
Mega
not-
Shark versus Octogina.
It's a totally different film. And then there's the one where she squeezes out 50 eels, and that's just too much.
German film. I've heard about that one. There's some chickens involved in that too. Have not seen it, but I've heard about it. It's one of those infamous movies that it goes around two women with 2 eels in a kitchen and a chicken somewhere in there too.
Oh, no.
And a
This
trampoline?
is something. No, this is different.
Oh,
this is a woman squeezing out like 50 eels.
Ew.
50?
Yeah.
She has like ping pong balls type
Yeah.
thing. did it go across the room?
That must have been CG. There's no possible way that can happen. The most expensive porn film ever made. 50 eels out of one vagina.
How
that's
big?
a,
How
that's
big?
a live.
It could be like little squids.
What? That's a live anime there. That's like a live action anime, like tentacles and squids coming out of a vagina.
That's the thing that they're into over there right now, which is really fucking with me, is that the women, especially the octopus ones, where they put a live octopus in and then squeeze it back out.
I don't get it.
You don't get it. I don't fucking get it. That shit is tainted. Oh my God.
Yeah, what the fuck is going on with you people over there? Noah, talk to your people. What the hell is going on with them?
It's
Oh
not-
no, it's not them. They do.
It's not
They
the Dutch.
The Dutch films usually use dogs.
Oh yeah, Dutch people use.
God, no, that's
yeah,
gross.
the Dutch people are using shit on
Serious?
things.
I've seen it.
I do know that most of the porn is made in Amsterdam. That this distributed through Amsterdam, even though most of it is made in California, but it's edited and distributed through Amsterdam because of American laws. You know, and Amsterdam laws are more
So,
Lax.
lax. Yeah.
So are dogs really? You really do it with dogs over there?
I've never seen it.
You got dogs who are like, I'm moving to China. I'd rather get eaten than have to fuck you. Shit, I'm nervous here.
No,
At
no,
least
it is illegal because they tried to make it legal, and then they went to court and they said the only way you are allowed to have sex is if somebody can give their consent, and an animal is not capable of giving consent, and so they made it illegal.
Well, yeah, that of course. That's why when you have this argument when people say, well, hey, you know what? If we make gay marriage legal, people gonna be fucking trying to marry their animals next. It's like, no, animals don't have any sense of what's going
Well,
on.
exactly.
the problem with that is right now, the minute anyone who makes that argument, you have completely and utterly dehumanized human beings.
Yeah.
You have
Yeah.
said that they are no better than dogs, and it's anyone who says that is literally out of their fucking mind. They have not actually thought that argument through.
They don't have a clue about gay.
It's easy to do that with the slippery slope argument. You know, you say if you do this, then this will happen. It's like, okay, you know what? Anybody can say that. Anybody can make that broad statement right there. Yeah, but you're right though.
That particular argument is one that infuriates me because I've had people tell it to my face. Seriously, it's like, really? That's where you're going to go? Two guys having consensual sex is like fucking a dog?
Yeah.
Really? That's what... Well, yes, because the Bible... Oh, let's not get into that zone because I can tell you a lot of things that the Bible says you should be stoned to death for that you're doing right now.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know...
Yeah.
It's kind of well, but that's Leviticus. Yeah.
No, and there's one easy argument.
they start crying like a dog.
It's there are plenty of arguments to be made. None of them involving you'll marry animals next.
The Netherlands was the number 2 country who allowed gay marriage.
And you guys have descended into hell already.
Yeah.
I mean, there's flames coming out all over the
Pigs
place,
can fly and stuff like
things
that.
exploded.
Isn't the economy
People
bad
are
there?
marrying their... No, it's not.
No, in
not,
fact,
not as bad as I mean, it might get, but not yet.
A lot of
Not
the
as bad as the United
a lot of
States.
a lot of the countries in that particular region have been insulated from it because of reform laws they had from a collapse back in the 90s, was it?
Mm-hmm.
When everything got really bad and they put all these blocks into place that we looked at and said, ha ha ha, see, we don't need those blocks and our economy's just fine.
And now we're like, can we see those notes real quick that you have?
I couldn't get a mortgage, and I make and here they were giving out mortgages for like candy.
You guys also have like insane taxation though, right?
No. I can email you an article from the New York Times reporter who works there, and he goes like 52%. You know, he goes, taxes 52%, but then. Your child, if you have a child going to kindergarten, you can get it back, the money that you spend on kindergarten.
Well, it's not just that. Like, I'm trying to remember which countries it is, but I know that there's like 100% luxury tax on things like vehicles.
No.
That's
not in Holland.
That's
no,
not
that's
Holland.
19%. It's VAT. But
19 is
yeah.
that what we said? 19.
Yeah,
Okay.
19. And but the thing is that
And VAT
this
for those listening is value added tax, by the way.
This guy was calculating. He's like, I'm spending about 52% on taxes, but then he was recalculating that he didn't have to pay for child support. You get every 3 months you get child support from the government. You don't have to pay for kindergarten because the government will pay for it. Primary school is next to free. You have to pay for the books, you have to pay for school trips, but you don't have to pay for the education. Secondary is also pretty inexpensive. And there's so many laws that are set in place: free healthcare. If you do have a baby, you get a nurse for 3 months to help you take care of the baby. She cooks for you, she cleans for you. You don't have to pay for that. So if you kind of like balance it out, your taxes, you do see results of your taxes.
I'm moving there.
And here, your taxes are only used to pay off your debt.
You wouldn't be alone.
Yeah.
No, there's a lot of expatriates over there,
Yeah.
especially black expats.
Really?
Yeah, no, there's
We're pretty lenient and cool, and
because
Yeah.
it's one of those things that they don't have the racial issues that we have.
Yeah,
over
kind of
here.
like when blacks moved to France during all the racial.
It's
shit
the
here.
equivalent. The equivalent of a black moving to Holland is like a French girl moving here. It's like, oh, hey, you're French. That's cool.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's exotic.
It's something
shit.
exotic, different, and not at all. You don't have to deal with any of the bullshit.
Hey, hold on, let me book my flight right now.
Live
it's
from
like-
Amsterdam, it's time for a couple of cold ones.
behind a coffee shop.
You said you have a nice setup at your place, right? We can do this like over the internet. Yeah, damn, nothing like a smart woman. Why don't you give me another beer?
Okay, I will. Do you want a lemon in
Why don't
that?
you give me another one of those hoo-has? Yeah.
Well, if you're actually
want
getting
to?
one, I'll take one.
yeah.
I wasn't
I'll
playing.
take another Hogarden.
Yeah, get your ass up and give me a beer.
I can't believe you just did that. You do realize you've just become the butt of Corey's joke. Nah,
But
that's
there's a lot of
okay.
things right there. No, I'm joking. No, it's all right.
Okay, now that she's out of the room,
That's a fucking bitch, man. She's been staying here for so. Nah, we're kidding, man. We're kidding. We're joking around.
that's just mean. She's a nice lady.
She is. She's very nice. She's wonderful.
So
let's
what
see
kind of time we got left, my man?
Oh man, we have. This show's gone pretty quick. We have about 10 minutes. No, we got
Really?
more than that. No, we got about 20 minutes.
Don't excite me like that. It's like, really? I'm almost
I gotta
out,
get
of here. Fuck.
It's hard for me to tell. I can't tell you. I don't know because this doesn't go by time. This
No,
goes
but
by
usually
a certain number.
until recently you've checked the time and gone, okay, it's 1:06 in the morning, so at 2:06.
I'd say we probably about 20 minutes safely. Yeah, about 20 minutes.
Well,
all
that-
right. Let's see here. We have, and there she is Mrs. Amsterdam with a beer. I said a lemon. God damn it!
She's handing us the lemon as we speak, motherfucker. Chill the fuck out.
Joking with her. She knows that. She's been so kind since she's been here.
She even bought the beer.
Did she?
Did you buy the? You don't buy beer. You haven't bought beer in forever.
I thought she took some money out my little box over here and went and bought it with
No,
her.
Corey is completely oblivious when I pay for shit.
Yeah.
Talk about the sushi restaurant.
Oh, I don't think that's oblivious. You get used to that pretty quick. I didn't even notice that. I was so caught up in conversation, I didn't even think about the fact that the check came and I didn't see it and you picked it up and it magically got paid.
Exactly, that's what happened.
Yes, that's exactly what happened, I'm sure.
I would love to say that I am cheap, but I'm not. You paid for that, and I was offering. Damn it. Spilled
You'd
beer
like to
myself.
say you're cheap? You are cheap.
I'm not
motherfucker.
cheap. Hand me that plate of salsa over there, please, while you're over talking shit.
I will talk shit,
man.
but it's true shit.
I like the way you try to make it seem like I didn't want to pay for anything.
No. We're at the
don't wanna pay
sushi
for
restaurant.
anything.
Out comes the check, and it's standing there for about a few minutes. And I must admit, I invited him, so I feel like I should pay, right? If you invite somebody out for dinner, you should pay. So I put in my credit card. I already signed for the receipt and everything, and then he pulls out his wallet going like, how much is it?
And
Now, one
No.
of the things. Now, this may also be a cultural thing, especially here in Texas.
Yeah.
When the check shows up, you don't normally grab for it. They put
Yeah.
the check out early so that you know
Thank
that
you.
it's there to
Really?
pay for. You don't. As soon as the check hits the table, you don't necessarily pay for it. You pay for it when you're ready to go. It's like, okay, we're about to leave, and then you pay for the check.
Okay.
Yeah,
So if
it's
it was
kind of
sitting on the
announced.
table and you guys were still eating, then it's not a faux pas.
We were
on
drinking
his part.
sake and all kind of stuff, and we were in the middle of a conversation, and all of a
That's
sudden
true.
I was ready to pay because I wasn't going to have you pay.
They'll drop before they even ask whether you want anything else. Sometimes they'll drop the check. It'll be, oh, can I get a dessert? And they'll be, oh yeah, and they'll pick the check back up, bring you dessert, and bring another check.
I was very surprised about that. I will be in restaurants going like, I could go for a dessert, and then I'm already with the check. I'm like, do they want to get rid of me? What's going on?
No, it's
here?
they do want to get rid of you, but it's not because they want to get rid of you. It's about turning tables.
Yeah.
And we even have a restaurant here that they flat out tell you it's a Salt Lick. They have a sign up that says, please leave within an hour. Something like that. It says, after an hour, please clear the table so that others may have a seat. Mm-hmm. And it's a very popular restaurant, so I can see why they have it. But
It's the best goddamn barbecue in Texas.
I don't know if it's the best, but it's pretty damn good.
What do you think's better? I mean, I have my personal favorite, like my personal local favorite that I go to all the time, but and that's Man's Barbecue. I'm a huge fan of Man's Barbecue.
Yeah, no, we have a place here called Sam's Barbecue. On the east side is really good. I don't know if you've
had Sam's.
Yeah, it's a small joint, man. Been around for years, but yeah, it's good. It's good. Salt Lick is great, though. Don't get me wrong. Salt Lick is a wonderful restaurant.
It's incredible restaurant.
The way they marinate that meat, man. I know. Don't make any jokes, no. All right, hush.
We already made all our marinating
I know. Yeah,
jokes.
That's all.
That's serious business here in Texas.
You know, Salt Lick's always featured on like some Discovery Channel travel show when they come to Austin. Everybody goes to the Salt Lick. They marinate this meat like with like a brown sugar and barbecue sauce stuff. So you get sauce at the table, but they marinate it in the sauce. They put it on a big smoke fire. They show you the wood that they get. Like they have a certain like wood from pecan trees or something like that. Special wood that they have to have. And it shows, man. It's great.
It's good stuff. You know what else I like that actually I love that we only have one restaurant of it, and it's in the airport, but I love it. Earl Campbell's.
Oh man, Earl Campbell's is good.
I love Earl Campbell sausage. Oh my god.
Oh my god, that's good stuff. It's a little overpriced because it's in the airport, but good.
But even then, you know, have you ever had their breakfast?
No,
it's eggs, bacon, beans, and an Earl Campbell sausage.
Why are you laughing?
Because I love Earl Campbell's meat. He's got a big 12-inch long sausage that is delicious.
But the thing is that you weren't talking. You play back the podcast later on. Your whole I love Earl Campbell sausage. It's going to be my new ringtone.
It's the thing
I think like it's going to be my ringtone.
That's not the first time I've said it, and it's not the first time
Corey will be calling me and be like, "I love Earl Campbell's sausage.
I love Earl Campbell's
meat
sausage.
is good."
Okay,
and it's funny because we do
be quiet and then let him say it one more time so I can really get the recording and make it a good ringtone.
I love Earl Campbell's sausage.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And see, we make so many jokes here. Like that was in the back of my head, but it's so easy now that we just don't say anything. And I looked at you and I said, she's sitting up here laughing because he said Earl Campbell's meat.
Let me get you another ringtone in there. Hold on a second. Ring ring. Ring ring. There you go. Just record that.
Thank
put it
you.
in there.
I will.
Notice in the middle of that
shit out of everyone.
That ring's gonna have in the middle of it before I laughed. Ring ring.
No, it should be more like Carlos. And you should be doing something. Pick me up. Pick me the fuck up. Pick up.
Wait, answer the phone. Answer the fucking phone. God damn it.
Would you answer the goddamn phone already? For the love of fucking Christ.
People be in a restaurant. Yeah, lady, answer the fucking phone. Shit.
I actually had a ringtone. It was from a stand-up comedian, and he goes like when he tries to pick up girls, he stands on the corner, and his joke was like, hey girl, hey girl, hey whore, and that was my ringtone.
You know,
and people would like turn around, going like, what the fuck?
You know, a great one would be answer at the goddamn phone. Come on, pick up your goddamn. What the fuck are you, Dutch? Do you have a problem?
Don't laugh through it. I'm trying to make it into a ringtone.
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, start over.
If you want a ringtone, well, I'll make you a ringtone after we shut off. You won't have to go through and
do it
listen
now.
to this
Go
shit
ahead,
again.
Do it now. Go ahead.
No, we're done.
No, we're done.
We're fucking
We'll do
done.
it afterwards. We make a small.
I'm not
short
recording any more of this afterwards, so you're gonna have to get it from this. Go ahead, get it out the way right now.
No, let's. You know what? We're running out of time. It's time to answer some email, motherfucker.
Man, we got
Nobody
plenty
else
of
wants
time.
to listen to this shit.
We got plenty of time.
Nobody wants to listen to this
We
shit.
could have had the ringtone done already if you had just said it. Say it. Just say it. I won't say anything. Just go, please. Don't look at me. Say it. Come on.
What? Let's move on. We're moving on.
This is the easiest fucking thing in the world to do, and y'all looking at me like I'm crazy.
You are fucking crazy. Let's
They
move
make a
on
Michael
to email.
Jackson
I
movie.
will cut and paste.
They're no, not exactly.
Okay, no, they're trying to get the rights to make a
No,
biography
what
of the
they're
late life of Michael Jackson.
What they're trying to do is that they want to put out a movie of the concert footage that he shot of the mock-up, you know, the test that he was running through, the
No,
rehearsal.
they want to do that. They also, of course, people are jumping on. Now, I know they're not going to do this right now, but people are already jumping on to get the rights to make a biography of Michael Jackson's later years, right before his death. Which I wouldn't mind seeing that.
I would.
They've
Unless
recorded-
Jamie Foxx plays Michael Jackson.
He should play.
Because that would...
No, Jamie Foxx should play Frank Sinatra.
Oh no! Because we need comedians to move on and do serious stuff. He's already done. Jamie Foxx has already done his. I think we need to get Amy Poehler to come back and do her infamous Michael Jackson.
We need a white person to do Michael Jackson.
White woman.
We need to have Jamie Foxx
as Robin Williams famously said. Only in America can you be born a poor black boy and die a rich old woman, a rich old white woman. I mean,
we need Jamie Foxx as black Michael Jackson, Amy Poehler as white Michael Jackson. It'll be a 2-part role. It'll be great. This is genius. I'm calling Hollywood right now. After you guys are done.
Why don't we answer some email and then you can call Hollywood
and do your ringtone then?
Do my ringtone then.
Ringtone.
Ringtone.
Noah told me I didn't have an accent, but I just had it then. Do your ringtone.
Sometimes comes
That was your Waco accent.
That's my Waco accent coming out right there.
You gonna wash your clothes next?
I love it when I see on dirty cars people put that R and wash me.
Yeah, wash me.
It's until it happens to
I write
you.
bastard with an R.
You write what?
Bastard.
What?
Bastard.
Bastard.
Bastard?
Yeah,
Bastard.
bastard, yeah.
What fair?
What for?
What fair? Okay. All
What you
right.
doing?
All right, let's go ahead and get
What you doing over there?
Hey, what are you doing?
What you doing over there?
All right, let's get into some.
Need to put some truck nuts on that truck.
Rush my ears.
Fucking truck nuts.
I should buy some and give
Truck
it to my
nuts. Did you
dad.
finally see those?
Oh yeah, I've seen them now. They're all over the place. You can't go anywhere without seeing
I
truck
hate
nuts
those,
now.
man.
Those are the dumbest fucking things. My favorite are the blue ones.
The blue balls.
Yeah, the big blue truck nuts.
I remember seeing those car and truck nuts, and the first pair I saw, I love that first pair. It was silver, and I just thought like that's car damage, like it's melted steel, or somebody had a wreck and it's bent and twisted in a certain way.
And you thought you were clever by going, those look like nuts.
And then I saw a couple of flesh color ones. I'm like, oh my god, I can't believe this. Who would possess somebody to put this shit on their
The
car?
same people who put up that singing fish on their fucking wall. That's who.
We should combine the two. We should have a singing fish with nuts on the back of somebody's car. I'm a fucking genius, Noah, if you haven't noticed. Calling Hollywood, and I'm calling them. I'm calling
Did I ever disagree with you? Come on.
Calling the Redneck Supply Company next.
There you go.
I went
I got an idea for you. I got an idea.
I went to
Okay.
Cabela.
Hey,
so-
if you have an idea for them, it has to be for them. I got an idea
I got an
for
idea
you.
for you.
I got an idea for it.
First, you need to rush your cure. And,
Stop
all
stealing
right.
our gerbs.
All right. Man, what the fuck is this that we're drinking? Because it
It's
has
too
me
hard,
loopy.
man. It makes you do shit.
Yeah, it makes you feel hoo-ha. All right. Let's see. This is one of your peoples.
Oh,
At least
God.
close enough. Mecklenburg of Poland. Close
Yeah,
enough.
yeah, that's close enough.
All right.
Fucking Polak.
Let's invite. Let's invade. them.
Archie Bunk over there.
No,
You
I'm
dumb
actually.
Polak.
I'm half Polish. That's why I can make a Polish
Well, you can
joke.
do that, huh? I'm good. I got something else I can call you.
I
now.
never get to make Polak
A
jokes.
fucking asshole Polak.
And the thing is, the
Carlisle,
Polak jokes are not that well known in Europe.
Really?
He would be clueless about that.
only over
We have
here.
Belgium jokes that are similar, like the
Oh, everyone jokes about Belgium.
about Belgian people.
See, that's I always like here in Texas we don't joke about Polacks because we don't have them here.
no.
We joke about Aggies, and Aggies from Texas A&M,
Oh, okay.
and Aggies are they're it's the agricultural school, so we call them Aggies. But they're all Polish jokes.
Yeah.
What's a pimple on a Polak's ass? Brain tumor.
Got
Got that from a movie. I forgot which Flashdance. Actually, I got that from. All right. Mecklenburg of Poland said, in the past few years, we got 2 live-action movies based on the Flintstones and 2 Scooby-Doo movies. He said he likes some of the Flintstones movies, but he hates
You say in the past 10 years or past 2 years? I mean, maybe they just
Oh, no,
got.
you know what? No, I'm sorry.
maybe they just got the
Poland.
Flintstone
You know what?
movie.
He
in
just
Poland.
says, no, you know what? Yeah, so they just got it like yesterday.
We can't wait for Viva Rock Vegas.
Have you heard about the new Flintstones movie coming out? But no, he said, and actually I threw that in there. It says just in the past years we got 2 live action movies based on the Flintstones, and he says he only likes one of the Flintstones movies, hates both Scooby-Doo movies. And he says, and with the live action versions of the Jetsons, Johnny Quest, Yogi Bear, and a 3rd Scooby-Doo movie. Are you fucking kidding? There's another one coming out? Rumored to be in pre-production. I wonder, are there any Hanna-Barbera cartoons you would love to see in live action? And are there some you pray they won't ever touch? All of them.
Snagglepuss?
You didn't screen that very well, did you?
Yeah, just go out on my balcony. All all of them. God damn it, no.
No. I said you didn't screen that email very well, did you?
I didn't screen any of these at all.
Yeah, no, it's they shouldn't make live action of any cartoons. It just shouldn't happen. I'm even against live action of anime. Anime is in motion already. I don't want to see it in the real world.
I would disagree with that to a certain extent. I would look forward to a Johnny Quest movie, because I think that's the one that's probably more apt to make a movie. It's an adventure.
It's an adventure, except that you have to buy into a world that you buy into in a cartoon that is much harder to, buy into in the real world. This world-spanning scientist who races around the world having adventures with his teenage boy and his teenage boy's Indian best friend, Punjab.
Look, I'm sure if you want to look at some gay shit in there, you'll find it.
I'm not even trying for gay shit. I didn't even bring in race banning. His actiony best friend. His blonde, rippled stunt driver.
And you know something? Have you ever watched
yes.
Harvey Birdman?
The Harvey Birdman
That was one of the funniest episodes.
It is. That and the Dabba-Don are the two worth seeing.
And Dabba-Dabba-Don are hilarious. But no, look, if you can buy Indiana Jones going around the world and fighting Martians, the Temple of Doom, and the Ark of God coming out, then you can do this with Johnny Quest.
But that was because that was where we saw that character first. Johnny Quest, you have to explain it, and it's not going to work. The studios will want to camp it up, and they'll have, and you know what'll happen. You'll have clever writers who throw in as many subtle gay jokes as they possibly can.
Listen, you know my argument. Anything can be done if they think about it right. The problem with all these things, the problem with these properties, look, I'm just going to come out and say, yes, they can do a Johnny Quest movie. It's an adventure film. If they thought about it and did it right, any of these movies could be done right. The problem with these movies is that, first of all, it's hard to sell a talking animal movie that only lasted for 3 minutes as a cartoon. I mean, a fucking gorilla who lives in a pet shop and is purple and can talk to his store. We don't have to ask questions about that for a 3-minute cartoon. It's quick, it's fast, and it's funny, and we get out of there. We see a whole fucking movie of that? How are you going to explain that? We got to explain why the gorilla's talking, why he's going around wearing clothes.
You really do need to explain to people that you're talking about Grape Ape.
You know what? I've actually put two of them together. I combined Grape Ape and Magilla Gorilla.
See, because Magilla Gorilla was fucking huge, wasn't he? Or was Grape Ape the huge one?
No, Grape Ape was the one that was huge. Magilla Gorilla was the one that lived in his the pet store, wore the suspenders and the hat with the flowers.
I'm almost twice the age of most of the listeners, and I even had a hard time following you there.
Magilla Gorilla, boy. Hey, okay. Now I tell you what I would like to see turned into a cartoon. Now, first of all, a lot of these
turn into a
live action film. Now, all of these. If you were to turn them into a live action movie, I think that they should be not live action. I think a lot of them, like Yogi Bear and all those, if you're going to, first of all, don't approach it as we have the property first, now let's make the movie, which they won't do with these. There should be some inspiration to make a movie. However, if you choose to do it, think they should be done in CG. Like all the characters, all the animals, everything is done in CG. Yeah,
that's still an animated film.
Yeah, it's
that if you keep it in animation, yeah, I'd like to see it. I don't think Hanna-Barbera was. I'm not the biggest Hanna-Barbera fan. I don't think any of their things live beyond 15 minutes at a time.
Yeah, they don't.
I don't think any of them have real stories that should be told. I mean, if you're going to do them in CG, that's the type of thing that, like when I look at something like,
But see, you like Speed Racer. That's from an anime. You really like Speed Racer.
I did, but I like what they ended up doing with it. I didn't go into Speed Racer going, oh my God, this is going to be the greatest thing ever.
See, that's
I went
what I'm saying.
It was a lot of fun.
You have to adapt things to a movie.
But what they did is they created a world that was entirely CG and put human actors in it. And it was beautiful to watch, and it was really an interesting thing.
See, that was my problem with something like Street Fighter. It's based on a game. It should be in an exaggerated world.
That was your problem with Street Fighter?
No, there's a lot of problems. I'm talking about from the beginning if you want to make
awful.
it. Now, as I say, you should make a live-action Johnny Quest movie. I would love to see them if they did it right. All these other movies, if they did them as movies, CG. The one, though, that I would like to see done in live action, and if they want to bring clever writers in to make little jokes, is Snagglepuss.
I said that.
I didn't hear you.
I said that in the beginning.
She said that at the very
I'm sorry,
beginning.
I didn't hear you.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Because now, I'll tell you why I would love to see it. Because Snagglepuss is walking around. He's obviously a gay Chippendale. He has the collar, he has the cuffs, nothing else. And he talks like this.
Exit stage right.
Yes, I'd like some dick even.
Yeah, because I want to see 90 minutes.
I want to see 90 minutes of gay Snagglepuss. I do.
Dude, it was called Bruno.
Yes, I want to see Bruno as a gay pink leopard or whatever he is walking around the city with number cuffs and a collar on. If they're going to do that and make fun of shit, I would love to see Snagglepuss. That's me personally. I think that would make me laugh so hard. It would piss off some gay people, and I would probably be right there with them. But that's the one. But yeah, my problem with these movies is that they really are approached as properties first, and not good movies and not good movies first. That's secondary to like actually cashing in on an already known property. So done right, I'm down with anything. But the potential here, if you look at past movies, is just to shit it out. So anyway. You got something to add to that, Noah?
No, I'm totally in agreement with you.
Okay, there you go. Thank you.
Welcome.
Let's see what we have here next. Ugh. Okay, this might be something you want to answer. I don't, because it says 20th Century Fox. I don't know what they're saying. Hello, Corey. I just got finished watching I Love You, Beth Cooper, and it was a piece of shit. That movie gets a fuck you.
Fuck you.
And you saw this.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't. But anyway, what do you think it will take for Fox to get their act together and stop fucking with good properties? Was Beth Cooper a good property?
Yes.
Okay, I never read the book. You read
everybody
the book.
I haven't read the book yet, but everyone who I know read the book said the book was a lot of fun and it was really cool. Okay. And you hear the dialogue and you can hear the script in the film is really solid. The script is not a terrible script. The thing is that Columbus just didn't know how to tell a joke. I don't think this is Fox's fault. Mm-hmm. I don't think Fox fucked up on this at all because Chris Columbus, this is a talented fucking guy. This is the guy who wrote Gremlins. This is the guy who directed a number of solid films. He directed the first two Harry Potter films.
Yeah.
You give him a book that the book is practically a script for a film. You look at it, it seems like a no-brainer. He's already adapted 2 books to the screen, and he did a solid job with them. Even though they weren't the best of the series and they had some flaws, they still made ass loads of money, and people love them. And they're nowhere near the worst of that series. They're solid films, 1 and 2. It seemed like a no-brainer. I don't think Fox is to blame for this. I've never even mentioned Fox in this because I cannot see at any stage in this where this was a bad decision, except that something happened to Chris Columbus and he just forgot how to tell a joke.
Or maybe the movie was just such a big movie by committee that it was just like, hey.
It's possible, except the problem in there is it's not changes they made. It's literally in the editing and the music choices and how the jokes are told.
Oh, really?
It really is. It's one of those rare films where, I have an issue whenever you say, I think it's bad direction. Because I think bad direction is kind of a cop-out statement. It misses. It's kind of just an overly broad statement that doesn't hit what really went wrong. This is one of those rare occasions where it's literally bad direction. Everything here seems like it should work, but the director fails to make it come across.
Okay, so he says, so you don't blame. Well, do you blame Fox Studios for that? I mean, so yeah, I think there's a lot of 20th Century Fox bashing that goes on.
Well, because they make a lot of shitty movies.
And they make a lot of shitty movies, and they make money with them, and they continue to make shitty movies because of that fact.
How they can do better, they're already starting to try, and I've already heard this from a number of directors, but what needs to happen is they need to stop micromanaging. They need to trust their directors and let their directors just go with it and deal with the material they have. I think that's what they did with Beth Cooper, and I think maybe that's where it possibly went wrong.
Yeah.
But they've done it with a number of films to where, we'll see what happens.
Okay.
But I have heard that things are changing at Fox.
Do you think there's a property that's going to come up they're going to get right? And
not particularly. I really don't. Because they really are focused more. Their biggest problem is they're focused more on making money than they are making good properties. Because they want to make that money opening weekend. Mm-hmm. But they're not concerned about the long life of their monetary gain. They're all about the short game and not the long game. And they want to make the big plays. They don't want the hits that go on for years.
And by the way, that email was from Brendan Williams. Thank you.
Hey, Brendan.
Thank you. Hey, Brendan. Okay, we have an email here from what the hell? Gollum Myers. And Gollum says...
Precious, I have a question for you. For uses, you hobbits
He has what he...
we have the questions for it.
His title of his email is, if a movie is better than sex, then you are obviously doing it wrong. I never said I was doing it right.
Oh, it's not, why did you click on this one? What does he have to say?
It's not what you think it is. He says, what sticks out in your mind as far as having sex correct? Now, he says, what sticks out in your mind as far as a movie line that was incredibly funny or poignant, but went over everyone else's head? For example, I am a Jewish guy who finds the lines uttered by Walter, what does that say, Sobchak, John Goodman, about being a shamer fucker.
I'm Shomer Shabbos,
but can see why everyone else might not get the joke.
We got it.
Anyways, he says, love your site and love the podcast and listen to them regularly. Keep up the good work. That is Adam. That's his real name. I can't think of anything right off the bat right now. And as far as a line goes in a movie,
the movie that sticks out in my head is I went and saw L.A. Story in the theater years ago. A great, smart Steve Martin film, and I saw it in a half full theater, and I was the only person laughing. The thing is, it's a far too clever movie. That's the problem. That's why it failed. But it stayed on DVD and in print because the people that love it love the shit out of it. It's a smart, funny romance that's making fun of L.A. and the whole L.A. scene. And there's a great moment in it with before he was fully famous, Patrick Stewart as the maitre d' of La Idiot, which is the idiot in French. And he's trying to get a reservation at this restaurant. And it was one of those films where I found it really funny, and I was just watching it in the wrong crowd. I went and saw it at a mall theater, which is not the place to see that. I wish I'd seen it
Why was it even playing at a mall theater?
Because it's a Steve Martin film in the early 90s.
Okay.
The thing is that if it comes to Jewish jokes, not everybody will get it, but that's okay. Because sometimes it's nice to see something that you only can pick out. Jan de Bont and Paul Verhoeven both put in Dutch shit in their movies. And most Americans will watch, Terminator and not get it, or RoboCop and not get it. But, for the Dutch crowd, it's kind of like...
Verhoeven. That was a Verhoeven joke.
Yeah, but that's like, then you go like, oh, yeah, I get it. And sometimes it's cute.
Verhoeven is awesome. You know what? While we've got you here, did you see Black Book?
Yeah.
What did you think of Black Book?
It was somewhere around 3/4 of the movie. She starts yelling, doesn't it ever stop? And I'm yelling back like, yeah, doesn't this ever stop?
Why, you didn't like it?
No, it was too much. He took true stories of 150 people and just pounded into one person that she was going through it.
Well, I think that he wasn't trying to depict a piece of history accurately. I think he was trying to tell sort of an adventure story. It was a spy story.
Please continue. I want to hear this.
It was too much. It's kind of like, I recognize a few stories from my grandmothers and they went through it. But at one point when she started screaming, doesn't it ever stop? I almost screamed back like, yeah, doesn't this ever stop? I mean,
how did the film do over in Europe?
It did okay. In the Netherlands, it did well. For the past 5 years, most Dutch films never do well in the Netherlands. We kind of look at it and go like, oh, more nudity. Can we get, it's enough now. But for the past 5 years, Dutch movies have been coming out, and people are going like, Bright Flight is an amazing movie I would recommend to go watch. Character is another good movie. That's a Belgian-Dutch movie I would recommend to watch.
There's been some really good Norwegian stuff coming out lately.
I haven't seen.
That's funny.
Have you seen Frostbite?
Frostbiten?
No,
sorry.
You got to see that.
Okay, I will.
No. It's a great great film from your neck of the woods. In fact, the thing is you watch this film and it's everything that 30 Days of Night should have been. Mm-hmm. It's essentially 30 Days of Night set, in your neck of the woods, where it's completely dark for this period of time and vampires take over a town. Awesome. But it's really funny. It feels like the
Wouldn't that be a direct rip-off it?
No, because it came out before the 30 Days of Night.
But I wonder if they saw the graphic novel.
It's not like that one is, because 30 Days of Night, as much as it's a great graphic novel, it's a complete ripoff of Near Dark. It's just Near Dark set in Alaska. It's
You think so?
Oh yeah, no. Where it's this roving band of vampires that are very much. It's just told from the other point of view. It's told from the people as opposed from the vampires' point of view, which is where Near Dark was taken from. But the vampires are very nihilistic, very hungry. Now I like 30 Days of Night. I think
Because
it's
the
cool.
vampires in Near Dark were like were more human. In some
They were
ways
more
likable,
human, but they were these nihilistic roving vampires that went from place to place, feeding and then leaving.
But
And-
but the ones in like 30 Days a Night were they were pretty much monsters.
well,
you know?
they were more, but that's
almost
what,
animals.
the thing is that that's what they were in Near Dark.
Animals
except
in
they
Euro
were,
trash clothes.
Yeah. But
That's interesting to hear though about Black Book because I really like that movie. I guess from a Jewish perspective because you are Jewish, and
Yeah.
from a perspective of someone from that region, and it's like I guess it takes on a whole totally different context.
Well, it was also the film was too much. It was too much piled on top of each other. It just didn't stop. Her it just was one thing after another, and it just didn't
Make it
stop.
sound like that's your passion of
But
the Christ or something.
But I did like her old-fashioned Dutch attitude. I mean, in Jerusalem, I worked with people from World War II survivors, and they had similar attitudes. So I did like that. He did capture a really Dutch Jewish girl attitude.
I love that movie.
And there's another movie coming out. I'm looking forward to. It's about the disaster we had a water disaster in 1938. But again, I'm thinking like it won't be successful outside the Netherlands. Nobody's interested in seeing a couple of farmers drowning. You know, it's just
There's
that
some movies,
I
I
learned
just
in
don't wanna
history
see.
that I want to see it because I read the book and I liked the book and I also read the history behind it. So.
To answer this question here, I can't really say a line, but I will say this. I don't know if it was over everyone's head. I went to see Topsy Turvy. It's the story of Gilbert and Sullivan,
Yeah.
Pirates of Penzance and whatnot. And there's a scene, and we're watching it with a bunch of music history majors or something. I mean, really, the audience they passed out passes at UT campus, and so all these music history majors are in there, and they're taking this thing seriously. I mean, it's like watching Shakespeare and people recognize a line from Shakespeare that would normally, if anybody, be like, "Oh, that's clever." They'd be like, "Oh, did you hear that crazy Shakespeare?" And these people are laughing their ass
now
off.
hold off 1 second, because that's the impression you do of me when I see geek movies.
Yes, and they do the same thing.
Did you see what Spider-Man said? That's a joke from issue 157.
Either the seat like rolling around, sorry, they hit your foot again. See, that's what he does to people's feet when he's in there. But so everybody's laughing at these really unfunny parts that, while well written, they're not laugh out loud funny. Now there's one part where there's an old guy in this movie, and this guy's trying to get a word out, and he's, for some reason, it's physical comedy that's happening. This guy's like, and this goes on for about like a minute, and Leon and I are looking at this, and we are laughing our asses off at this guy trying to get this word out. And he's, the bumbling British guy, and people looking at us like, how dare you laugh at this point? And we're like, we're sitting around, people actually getting up and leaving around us, like trying to sit like away from us. They're like, we'll show you. We'll move 2 seats down. It's
Oh
like,
my God.
And we're looking at these people like, okay.
I don't think that had
What are
anything to
we-
do with your laughter.
What was it? And I was like, I farted at the time. Just like, God damn it.
They were musical theater majors. I'm guessing none of them were black.
No, we were the only 2 black people.
Oh no.
In Topsy Turvy, I'm guessing you were the only 2 black people in Topsy Turvy.
You see, you can't let black people know anything.
But Gilbert and Sullivan is also a good example. A lot of their plays were British political satire. So if you don't know the history of London, Parliament and stuff like that, then some of the jokes may also
If
go
you
over
don't
your
know
head.
who the model of a modern major general is, it makes no sense to you whatsoever.
Yeah, and they did one that was based on Major General.
I am the very model of a modern major general. I absolutely follow.
But they and Leon, I got him to start singing that too. We start marching
Oh,
around.
we're gonna start doing Pirates of Penzance. aren't we?
No.
Fuck.
Hey, look, no, but I just didn't get it. People got mad at us for actually laughing at something funny, while the whole time we stood up there bored to tears. I'm like, why are these people fucking laughing at this?
I
It's
liked
not
that
funny.
movie,
And-
though.
and yeah, and
It's a good movie.
I did not like it. I could not stand it. It's not because we don't know about Gilbert and Sullivan. You know what? We are sophisticated, educated Negroes, believe it or not. So,
I don't think you're very sophisticated.
slightly educated.
Assimilated.
Assimilated Negroes. Bougie Negroes, if you will. Let's see what we have here, though. We'll do...
There's one of this American guy, he's going like, oh, but look at black people in Europe. There's like, English black people, they speak British. You mean because they are? Guess what?
They speak British.
Guess what? We have black guys in the Netherlands, they speak Dutch, and they're German black guys, and they tend to speak German. The Germans got to them.
That's like me asking you speak Jewish?
Yeah,
It's like those German Turks.
Yes, there you go.
All right. I think that's about it. Don't you think?
Yeah, you know what? Let me see. Yeah, I looked at some of the others. I mean, whatever.
Do one more. Since you're there and since you stalled, rather than going, yep, I think it's about time, let's do one last question.
Some people came in kind of late here. I mean, let me look at these. Why don't you two have a conversation or something?
So have you seen Ex Drummer?
No, I haven't seen it.
Oh, it's another film from your region that's quite good.
Oh, no. So many films.
It's really, in fact, I knew a lot of people that walked out of that movie or turned it off. It's like, wait, you didn't stay to the end? And they're like, no, I hated all those characters. It's like, yeah, they all die at the end in the best way possible.
Okay.
You didn't stay? And they're like, no, oh my God. And, it's a really cool film from that region.
I rarely walk out of a movie. I just watched this Egyptian movie and I went like, this movie sucks, but I stayed till the end.
I haven't walked out of a movie since my mother pulled me out of a movie when I was 11 years old. It's the only film I've ever walked out of.
I've walked out of plenty of movies.
Yes, you have. You've fallen asleep. You've checked messages. There's lots of things you've done.
I got peed in a corner of a movie. All right.
Last question.
This is from Alex.
Alex, which Alex?
Just Alex.
Alex.
Many think chronicling the life of a iconic musician like Jimi Hendrix is near impossible. The 2000 Hendrix movie may have
That's
proved
why you
that.
picked this.
Yes, Hendrix caught my eye, and I just clicked on it. He says, he says, knowing that you are a big Hendrix fan, Corey, how would you make a Hendrix movie, and at what point of his life would it start and cover? And how much backstory would be told? Look, someone like Jimi Hendrix is like, he lived to be 27. You could tell. Aloe vera? Yeah, because I had
you mentioned the aloe vera part, not that you have Vaseline sitting around in your room.
It's aloe vera, Vaseline. It's Vaseline brand aloe vera lotion. I got a tattoo, man. They had to put aloe vera on it. What did? Oh, and then fucked my ass? No, look.
I haven't said shit.
That's why. Look, but that's what we're moving next.
You go.
I know. I stopped you from saying shit. It's like you just picked it up and like, huh?
And
it was coming next.
A Dutch woman and a thing of Vaseline.
And you know what you were about to do.
I didn't know shit. I'm like, why is there Vaseline sitting here?
I just had a tattoo done recently. It's your chance to get up here and say, oh, what kind of gay sex is happening in here?
I didn't say anything.
You're getting
this is apparently
Earl Campbell sausage in here.
You're really sensitive about the Vaseline in your room.
I knew what you were about to say. That's why. Carlisle does not pick up a bottle of Vaseline unless he's about to get fucked. I'll make a joke about getting fucked to somebody else. So unless he's about to have some Earl Campbell sausage, I'll talk about somebody else.
Timothy Frog here, and I love my Earl Campbell sausage.
Here we go. Let me answer this question so we get the hell out of here. I would actually do it like this. Jimi Hendrix lived to be 27, so it's not, you can cover his whole life story in a movie. But to do it, I think you would have to do it in a way that's not as bland as the average biopic that we see out there. I mean, we saw the template used for both Ray and for what was his name, Ray Charles and Johnny Cash.
But that template was used because both of them lived to ripe old age, and they decided to end the movie at the most interesting part of their life, which is in their 30s when they were addicted to drugs.
But see, there's so many things about Jimi Hendrix that you can tell, like his time in the Army. You can tell about his different bands people don't know about. People just know his 3 studio albums, and that's it. They could talk about him being when he was given his guitar by his father, who just came home from the Army. I mean, and I would also use some artistic visions there and actually tell it to show, like, I'm talking about cinematography and artistic direction to show his spiritual side and also the psychedelic side of that period. I mean, I think it should be as much of an art film as much as of a biopic.
Should Oliver Stone then direct it?
No, Oliver Stone should not direct it. No.
I did like
The Doors.
Yeah, I liked
The Doors was great 20 years ago when it came out.
Yeah.
And even at the time,
Oliver Stone's lost his mind since then.
I really love The Doors, and see, that wasn't the right balance there. I would put a balance because he had the right idea. Mm-hmm. He put in some cool vision. He put in some cool visuals in the movie, but it was too much. I mean, because there's so much more you could have told about Jim Morrison that was just kind of passed over for Oliver Stone going off and doing crazy shit with all this art.
Well,
direction.
and Oliver Stone is one of those guys that in order to get ready for that film, he and his buddies drove out into the middle of the desert with a
peyote and all
with a glove box full of mushrooms and fucking got high in the middle of the desert.
It's like,
and so that
how about reading about Jim Morrison's story a little bit more and telling us things that we really don't know that much? But I mean, it was an okay movie. It was all right. I don't hate it, but I thought like, wow, you could have done a lot more. And I think I would pull that balance in with this, a good balance of narrative, but not put in the visuals, but not letting it kill the story. So that's how I would direct a Jimi Hendrix movie. But you got anything to say on that at all?
No, I'm really kind of tired of biopics. I mean, it really is one of those things where unless somebody has a particularly fascinating life that I want to see done that requires budgets and special effects, I'd much rather just see a really great documentary on Jimi Hendrix and listen to the people that actually knew him talk about him.
See, I don't mind biopics when they come out and they're done right because then it gets people interested in seeing documentaries about that person.
I don't mind them, but it's one of those things that I'm not excited about it, and I don't want to hypothesize. You know, it's like Jimi Hendrix had an interesting life, but I know you really want to see it because you're a big Hendrix fan, but having read through his life, there's not enough exciting about it, especially with such a downer of an ending that makes me want to sit and watch 2 hours of his life.
See, that's why you need to watch a Jimi Hendrix movie because you just glossed over his life like
no. I want to watch a Jimi Hendrix documentary so that I can listen to people who actually knew him tell me why he was awesome and why I should care. Not seeing, because really, is there anything exciting in his life that's like thoroughly exciting that we need a big budget Hollywood film to tell?
Being the guy who is pretty much the father of modern rock guitar, I would say yes.
No. That's the soul of a documentary. That's the soul of a really great documentary. That's not.
But one of the things that a documentary can't do
are there explosions? Are there car chases? Are there, is there intrigue and espionage?
I would like to see a movie that would actually bring the mainstream into Jimi Hendrix's life and get them interested to read on Jimi Hendrix and want to watch a documentary because a documentary is going to get passed over too. I mean, it's just not going to get the audience that a huge big budget movie would get. And if anybody deserves it, if you're going to do one about fucking Ray Charles and Johnny Cash, and Jimi Hendrix is just fucking sitting there. And I know his family estate is very protective of it. And that's why it's been hard to get. But yeah, Jimi Hendrix deserves a fucking big budget movie. There's a lot of interesting shit that I can't even get into right now about Jimi Hendrix. I mean, that's me, and I'm sure a lot of Hendrix fans would agree with that.
I can't wait to the big climax of him choking on his own vomit.
So you hate all these depressing endings and shit, but it's like
it's not that I hate depressing endings. It's that if you're going to make a biopic, choose somebody who has a life that is larger than life.
Jimi Hendrix is not larger than life.
What?
Every sound of modern guitar we hear goes back to Jimi Hendrix. That's not larger than life.
It's not on the big screen. Not one. He doesn't have one of those stories like it's like, oh my god, I needed to see what this looked like. It's him sitting playing a guitar. He's awesome. He's fantastic. He's an incredible guitarist. I think his music is incredible. I just don't think having
And you just summed up like you said. You just summed up gay marriage is like having sex with a dog. You just summed up his life to he choked on vomit and that was it.
No, I didn't sum up his life. I said I can't wait to the stunning climax of his life. It's a tragic ending, but it's one of those tragic endings that was very common at the time. I mean, there were so many people that died at that magical age in that period of time there because nobody realized, dude, you need to cut back on your fucking drugs.
And it serves as a story like that serves as a cautionary tale for people who come up who probably are coming up the same way. People, it's
see the things that I want to see. There's one that's coming out this summer that looks really entertaining about the family who hosted Woodstock. That's something. It's like, here's a story I've never heard. Here's something that could, a conservative family from upstate New York hosting what became the biggest musical festival of all time. There's a story that it's like, whoa, where did this come from? This is a story of a guy who is incredibly talented, who went up and made a name for himself, but in that period of time didn't do anything that I need to see on the big screen. And
I don't think half the shit about Hendrix the way you would look at it and you would say, wow, that I didn't know that. That was actually pretty cool, and I wouldn't have known that had I not probably seen this movie. There's a lot of people out there like that. They want to say, oh, yeah, Jimi Hendrix, are you experienced? Oh, that was cool. Yeah, he's a good guy. Yeah, he played guitar. That's not it. That's not
Name one exciting thing that happened in Jimi Hendrix's life that was really, truly exciting. You keep mentioning about his impact on music, but that's documentary stuff. Give me a big budget scene that I will see in the Jimi Hendrix movie.
You don't think that a black man at the time who is the first one to break out in rock and roll and cross over,
Documentary.
like majorly cross over, and then you chronicle his trip like from the States to being brought over to London and being able to tell that in a visual style that you don't really get out of a documentary.
You still haven't mentioned anything.
Well, maybe
truly
not to you, but to like the average person out there who knows nothing about Hendrix. So you have your mindset that you don't care
No.
about, Don't want to
That's
see
not,
anything interesting.
But see,
in him.
now you're putting words in my. No, I'm saying that because I'm interested in the story. I wouldn't mind seeing. Like I said, I want to see a great documentary on that. I don't
Well,
see.
so you've already made up your mind that you don't want to see a movie.
No, I want to see biopics done on people where it's like, the last biopic I really liked was The Aviator, because there was a guy who lost his fucking mind, and we watched this guy go down into the point where he locked himself in a hotel, fucking peed in bottles, and wandered around naked, not shaving or clipping his fingernails while he scribbled stuff down. There's a guy who lived and in the meantime did some crazy genius shit that was larger than life. He built a plane out of wood, a huge goddamn plane, and flew it. And they showed the whole Spruce Goose thing. We got to see all that kind of stuff. That's not the kind of thing that you see with Jimi Hendrix. The things that you can show
I
us.
would argue that. I mean, here's a guy who was about to, and it is tragic. Here's a guy who at one point in his life was being hounded by the Black Panthers for not playing the right music. He was being hounded by people who he owed money to because he was mismantled by his managers. And at one point had to go back, and at the one point where he was about to come and say, I'm going to actually try to reinvent myself, change myself as a person, then yeah, he tragically dies. But he also shows the potential of where somebody like that could have gone, as opposed to what we already know about that person. There is a transitional period in Jimi Hendrix's life that people really don't recognize and really don't commend Jimi Hendrix for. I mean, what's that?
Also, Hendrix was very sensitive. He was a very vulnerable, green as grass person, because I saw a documentary about his life and times in New York, and where you hear people speak about him. But then again, it could be biopic or documentary style thing. Is that he was very innocent. Most people that knew him that were so unaware of
the moment with Jimi Hendrix that touched me the most, and the reason I guess why I feel that everything you've talked about sticks to a documentary, was seeing an interview with God, why can't I think of his name now? The poet of the time wrote All Along the Watchtower.
Bob Dylan.
Bob Dylan. Hearing Bob Dylan talk about him and meeting this young kid. Who was the biggest star in the world at the time. I mean, he's Jimi Hendrix, and he gets to go into the room, and he's so excited to meet Jimi Hendrix. And Jimi Hendrix geeks out and has a full-blown geek out and is such a huge Bob Dylan fan and freaks out, and all he wants to do is talk about Bob Dylan and what it's like to be Bob Dylan. And Bob Dylan's like, are you kidding me? You're the biggest star in the why are you? That really, that humanized it for me. And that...
And you know what? And see, that could also be in you could actually put the two together if you wanted to, because again, a lot of people don't even know about Jimi Hendrix when he used to play for like people like he used to be a studio guy. Like he used to play for Little Richard, and there was a conflict between him and Little Richard where Little Richard came out and was like, you know what? You're not going to be in my band anymore because you are upstaging me. A lot of people don't know this shit. I mean, those are dramatic moments which would work well, very well for a biopic. And if you really want to combine the two, because look, I'm going to tell you something. There are tons of documented things about Jimi Hendrix. Tons of them. All these documentaries you're talking about, they're available on video, they're available on DVD, they're available on DVDs. All this stuff is floating out there, and yet people aren't really interested in hearing it because all they know is his music.
I look at it and I just worry that it's another I'm Not There.
Well, I don't see I'm Not There, which is the Bob Dylan movie.
But that came out, a year ago, 2 years ago?
That was an art film more than it was a bio. You can't even say it was a biopic because it was different people playing Bob Dylan. I mean, I think they had like a black kid playing.
But you were just talking about how you wanted to focus on the psychedelic part of his life.
But no, I didn't say I want to change it around when Jimi Hendrix is played by a little white kid, which is something that they did in I'm Not There. I think they had a black guy, play
a black kid playing him. Yeah.
No, that's
and that. A woman.
And a woman, yeah, and that is something that's way out there. That's not even a biopic. That's an art film.
Richard Gere, for some odd reason.
Did Richard Gere play him too? I didn't see the
Richard
movie.
Gere was playing the cowboy him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I didn't
the
see that.
old aging cowboy living in the old west.
No, I didn't see the movie, but I think you
No, I've seen it, and that this is what I'm concerned with is you run the risk of just redoing what like I'm sure there are people out there who are upset at the way that you just lump Ray and Walk the Line in as as if they're the same movie.
They are the same movie. I mean, I'm not talking about.
They
look,
run
I'm
the
not-
same. They have the same beats, but they're not the same movie.
Hey man, look,
And-
they made a movie making fun of those two movies. They made a movie. What was it called?
Walk Hard.
Walk Hard.
The Dewey
Where they
Cox
made fun
story.
of how. And look, I'm not talking about.
But
I'm not talking
I'm just-
about Johnny Cash and what's his name, Ray Charles as being. I'm not brushing them off as musicians. They made two movies that were almost
We have-
practically the same that they got made fun of in one movie.
It's no disrespect to Jimmy, but keep in mind that we've got that aspect. You know, that's where Hollywood's going to want it to go. That's the story they're going to want to tell. Is they're going to want to tell that story. Just plug Jimi Hendrix in, or you end up at the other end of the spectrum, which is I'm not there.
See, I
and
think
frankly,
there's a balance. I think you could have interviews with people like B.B. King. You could have interviews with people like who's still alive?
theoretically,
documentary.
No. And mix it in. Go and look at something like American Splendor, which is pretty much it's a biopic, but it's done in a way that is not the traditional biopic. I mean, they put a lot of artistry in that movie. They even mix it in with some of the real people that are still alive, and that's why I'm saying you can make a movie where you have interviews with some of the people mixed in. Like, you know, you cut away from the narrative for a little bit, and you have B.B. King talking, like, yeah, I remember Jimi Hendrix back then, you know, when he did this and that, and you move on to that point of life that B.B. King is talking about. You know, I mean, you know me, man. I'm arguing to death if you say something can't be done, because I know it can be
no,
done.
I know
in a way
it,
that
because
Hollywood-
anything could be done if possible.
Yeah, and
but
you
they-
even said
but-
this yourself. I mean,
but
you know, it's like you
except-
want to boil things down to like you can't do it. And I'm like, I'm always
No,
going to
no,
tell
no,
you
I don't
can't
wanna
do
boil
it.
it down.
It doesn't
You
have to like be done the way Hollywood does it, man. That's all I'm telling you.
I'm telling you the reality of the situation. We can sit and daydream about the perfect Jimi Hendrix movie, but knowing Hollywood, that's not what they're going to make. What they're going to make is, and why I said I'm trepidatious. I didn't say no, you cannot make a good Jimi Hendrix movie. I didn't say that. I said I don't want to see one because
Okay, and
I know what the way.
And the
I know
question
way
was
the
not
movie's
how
gonna come
Hollywood
out.
would make it. The question was how would I make it, and that's how I would make it. And I think I can make it well if it, you know, or anybody can make it well along those lines if they didn't want to do the typical biopic that's in the template of something like we've always seen that makes you justifiably not want to see a biopic done. Because personally, I don't want to see a biopic done either, but. That's because I think they're going to do it the same way. If somebody decided to do it different, I would love to see another biopic done the way of American Splendor.
I'm not against biopics, but like American Splendor, you're talking about somebody who actually had a really curious life and somebody that nobody knows anything about. And they did it in an inventive way, and nobody cared until people had seen it on the festival circuit and said, wow, this is really good. And people saw it because of that. I mean, if they make a Jimi Hendrix movie and people are like, oh my God, you've got to see it, it's really good, I'll go see it. I like Jimi Hendrix. I'd love to see stuff about him, but you know, I don't think that a biopic would work, and I don't think that if you know this, you know, at this stage, that anybody should really investigate doing one.
Okay, well, we're just going to be on disagreement on that,
And-
even though we've
talked about this before, and that was your answer. So.
I mean, even though we agree probably on more than what we're talking about, because I agree that I wouldn't want to see Hollywood do it the way they have been doing things.
Yeah, no, and to say if somebody did it, I'd want to see it done independently. I want to see somebody with fire in their belly tell the story that they believe needs to be told, not one that's been meddled with.
Hey, Noah just hung herself.
She's bored. She got into one of those. Well, she got to see a Corey Carlisle argument. We didn't scream,
There you
but
go. See,
real life.
In real life,
and
Real times.
we've gone well over our time, so
Yeah,
we're
we
going to
got like
say
20 minutes over.
good night, everybody.
Here, we'll cut you down. No, hold on.